Hey guys, my name's Jessica and today we're going to be making a bucket hat.
We're going to make two templates. One of them is this circle here, which has a 4-inch radius. That means it's 8 inches all the way across. You'll make this circle by drawing an 8-inch line here, then finding the center point, which is 4 inches, and drawing another 8-inch line this way. Then from there, you're going to use that center point to measure out in increments of 4 inches, so that the radius is going to be 4 inches all the way around. Once you've done that, you can kind of just sketch your circle and then cut it out. The next template you'll need is going to be 4 inches by 13 inches. Once you've cut this template, you're going to cut each 1-inch strip almost to the very top, but you're not going to cut it off. Now that the strips are cut out on our template, we're going to use this to make another template. Go ahead and put your original template on another piece of paper. Now you're going to take some tape and tape each piece with a little bit of distance between them. This is what your pieces should look like all taped down. We're going to use this as a guide for another template, and we're just going to trace all the way around. Now that you've traced everything out, you can go ahead and take your original template off. Go ahead and cut out your new template. Alrighty, here are our templates, and now we're ready to start cutting our fabric. So now that we have our pieces cut out, we're going to do the exact same thing with our other fabric. Once everything is cut out, take 2 of your pieces and face them right sides together. Sew a straight stitch on each side. Here's what your top stitch is going to look like on one side, and this is what it's going to look like on the other side. Now we're going to take the 2 pieces that we sewed together, and we're going to attach the circle. Go ahead and take your pins and pin it all together with right sides facing together. Here's what everything looks like pinned together. We're going to sew a straight stitch all the way along the edge. Once you've finished, it's time to attach both pieces together. This is probably going to be the most difficult part, but it's not too bad. Start by lining up both seams and pin them together. Now flip it around to the other side and pin both of those seams together. Now we're going to attach 2 more points, one on that side and one on the opposite side. Make sure you're pinning the fabric evenly all the way around. Now that you have 4 pins in, you're going to do 4 more in the middle of all of those pins. Once all of those pins are together, there's going to be excess fabric in between each set of pins. You're going to take that excess fabric and fold it down to make a pleat, and then you're going to pin that down. Once everything is all pinned up with your pleats, it's time to sew a straight stitch all the way around. Now that everything's done, you're going to take this edge and you're going to top stitch it down all the way around. Now that that's all done, it looks like a real hat, and we're going to do the exact same thing with our other fabric. Alright guys, so now that we have our 2 hats, we're going to flip them inside out with the right sides facing together, and we're going to pin them all the way around the brim. Make sure that when you start pinning, you line the seams up so that everything looks nice and clean. Now that everything is pinned up, we're going to sew a straight stitch along the entire brim, except we're going to leave about 2 or 3 inches over here so we can flip everything inside out. Alright, we've sewn a straight stitch all the way around, and we left a little opening in here. We're going to use that opening to flip everything inside out. Once everything is flipped inside out, you're going to top stitch all the way around the brim. Now that this top stitch is on, you're basically done, but if you want a more traditional bucket hat look, you can continue making lines all the way up the brim.
Alright guys, our bucket hat is done! I'm so happy with how this turned out, and I especially love the little pleats that we made. I think they add some character that most bucket hats don't have. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. And if you make this bucket hat, I would love to see it. So don't forget to follow me on social media and DM me your pictures on Instagram. I'll see you guys next week.